My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, in this content, I will be teaching you people like those that are interested who want to become eunuchs. Okay, eunuchs. In my previous video, I promised and I said that in my next video, I will teach you people how to become eunuchs. That is eunuch, eunuch. Okay, now when we say eunuch, it simply means somebody who don't have any desire for sex. That is the meaning of eunuch. And there is something written in the book of Matthew. When you read the book of Matthew chapter 9 verse 12, let's see what is there. Matthew chapter 9 verse 12, and it says, "For there are eunuchs who were born thus from their mother's womb, and there are eunuchs who were made and there were eunuchs who were made eunuch by men, and there were also eunuchs who made themselves eunuch for the sake of the kingdom." So why is it very important? Although it is not compulsory, but if you want to escape lust or immorality, sexual immorality, the best and the only way is to kill that desire. So when you become a eunuch, you will have no desire or no pleasure for what? For sexual activities. When you become a eunuch, you will begin to hate anything called sex. Like you don't want to like if you see anything sex, like you begin to hate it. So that is what we mean by what? By eunuch. So you can become a eunuch in two ways. Okay, you can either become a eunuch by what we call there is something we call orchiectomy. Okay, when they say orchiectomy, it simply means the act of what? Of removing your testes, because it is the testes that brings the hormones, okay, for the sexual desire. But I will not advise that you do that if you don't have the heart. Okay, so when you do that, what are you going to become? You become a eunuch, somebody that have no desire for sex, somebody that sex irritate that person. And you can also become a eunuch by what? By willingness in the spirit. You can become a eunuch by what? By willingness in the spirit. So now when you are a eunuch, even the way you have sex with your wife is entirely different from the normal people. Okay, you as a eunuch, you are just doing it either to have child or what, or just to satisfy your wife for what? For the sake of peace. But not that you are doing it wholeheartedly, not that you are having the sex wholeheartedly. So when you look at the Bible, Jesus Christ was a eunuch, Apostle Paul was a eunuch. So if you want to become a eunuch, it is very, very possible through the willingness of the spirit.